Oglądacie podcast Kosmo Polacy. To rozmowy bez spiny, bez cenzury, na totalnym luzie. W imieniu autora proszę o subskrypcję kanału oraz jego ocenę.
Can you trade sunny California for cold Warsaw? Is it worth to wait a bit longer for love? How special is it to help other people? With Brian Allan, the CEO of Rock Your Business, an international engagement company, we'll speak about these and other topics. Scottish singer and songwriter who entertained audiences all over the world for 3 decades before creating Rock Your Business in 2017. As a recording artist, Brian got over 30 of his own compositions on the radio. As a producer, he successfully created and managed a global star in the US, superstar Skylar Grey. As a songwriter, he has worked with Paul Stanley of Kiss, Rob Hoffmann, who produced Christina Aguilera and Michael Jackson, Beanz, who worked with Katy Perry, Justin Timberlake and Timbaland, and many more. As a humanitarian, Brian initiated a project called Rock for Ukraine, where he used his dynamic choir building workshops to help Ukrainian refugee children fleeing the war in Ukraine. Hello, Brian. Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry.
Thank you for accepting the invitation to be a guest on my podcast, Kosmo Polacy. Since you have been here in Poland and Warsaw for over 18 years now, if I'm not mistaken, you know this country so well. I can easily call you that even though you were not born here. But just by being here in Warsaw, you make up this city so much more cosmopolitan. Despite the last few years being challenging for you, considering the pandemic, the lockdown, the ongoing war just across the border, there are a lot of exciting things happening currently in your life. But before we get into this, I would like to ask you to go back in time a little bit, shall we?
Sure.
A globetrotting Scottish musical entrepreneur who lives in Warsaw since 2004. How did this happen? How did you end up here?
Girls.
Girls?
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Can we elaborate on that?
Yeah, I had a Polish friend in Los Angeles that basically just told me when my visa was finishing to visit him in Poland, and I said, sure. One of my favorite football players when I was a kid was Boniek. That's probably one of the only things I knew about Poland, and the other guy with a dodgy moustache, Valensa. And I came and I saw and I conquered.
I wanted to say that you conquered.
Pretty much. I came over and I really didn't like the fact that it was minus 15 or minus 17, 2 feet of snow, and I basically traded 1,000 palm trees in Santa Monica for one fake palm tree in Ronda de Gola. However, there was a lot of nice things about Warsaw that I fell in love with very quickly, namely Sense Restaurant, that no longer exists. It's now Kebab King on Nowy Świat. Which used to be the hub of all the expats in Warsaw, CEOs, presidents of companies. So the networking here, opportunities were incredible, more than any country I've ever been in. And then there was a great live music at the Sheraton and a bar called Someplace Else, which was quite legendary. And I would jump up on stage every night and sing with the bands that came from Canada and Chicago. And then when I wasn't there, I would be in Sparka, which was a great little cafe all night 24/7, and I basically...
Spólka, szpilka, szparka, one of those?
Yep.
On plac?
Krzyży.
There you go.
And that was basically it. I put a band together. I had a number one hit called I Still Love You. Ola Kwaśniewska, the daughter of the ex-president, was the actress in my music video. I had my Christmas hit. I started writing songs for big Polish artists. Edyta Górniak covered one of my songs. And then I created a project called Poland Why Not, where I tried to create Poland's first international singing star by bringing American and British and Scandinavian songwriters to Poland, proven hit makers to work with the best Polish talent in English and try to export it. It didn't work, but we managed to take a lot of Polish artists around the world that we financed personally. Wrote some great songs in the project, but unfortunately it was not much interest here in Poland at the local record companies or radio stations. And the reasons are, I have no idea. I'll probably never know why, but they killed our project basically when we launched it. But we did what we said we would do. We tried. We worked with Timbaland Productions. We had 5 songs from Jim Beanz that worked with Justin Timberlake, Katy Perry, all these massive stars, and he produced 5 tracks, which were amazing. But radio didn't take them, so the project died. So I just went on to do other things in Poland. But I tried to contribute as much as I could to Polish culture. Tried to create a belief that young Polish children growing up can think, okay, there's crazy guys like him in this country that actually might one day make a Polish star, and maybe I'm that star. And that was kind of the light the candle we were trying to, put out in the dark there so people could see it. But it didn't work, unfortunately.
So it didn't work. Some of the projects worked, some of them didn't. But what was the reason that you actually decided, okay, I tried in Poland, but I'm going to stay in Poland? Like, what happened? What made you stay here for such a long time? 18 years?
Originally, it would be the live music in someplace else, because I really enjoyed the bands that were coming, and it was a very good social life that I had at that time. I guess my daughter was born in 2011, so that was a very significant moment in my life, my Nadia, which meant I couldn't leave because I wouldn't want to leave her.
But from 2004 to 2011, we're talking 7 years. So
yeah, I was partying.
it was good party, good Warsaw nightlife, huh? That kept you
fantastic
attached to the city.
Fantastic. I was very good friends with Sebastian Kulczyk and Piotr Starak, so 2 of the wealthiest families in Poland. And I was kind of their pocket rock star. Whenever they'd have a party, I would turn up with my acoustic guitar. And Pavel Delong used to be a very good friend of mine, and many other Polish celebrities. And I just had a wonderful life. I was spending a lot of time at Pub Lolik and Shisha Lounge on Sienkiewicza.
So look at that. Some people are traveling outside of Poland for crazy nightlife and parties and stuff, and you happen to find it here.
I still travelled quite a lot, but Poland was just my home. The cost of living here was very attractive. It was you could be a crazy globe-trotting musical entrepreneur and live in a place like Warsaw, because even today the cost of living is much cheaper than the UK or America. I recently went to San Francisco. I thought I was going to have a heart attack in the morning just when I went to Denny's. So it's still a very attractive. Warsaw is obviously much more modern now. Poland in general is modernised quite a lot with all the money they got from the EU. But at the core of things, the cost of living is still substantially lower than other parts of Europe.
Anywhere else in UK or in US. I can vouch for that. That's for sure. Number of years spent in Poland and Warsaw. The most exciting thing that happened to you?
My children being born, hands down.
You have 3 kids, right?
Yeah, Nadia, MJ, and Julian. From a professional standpoint, I would say having a number 1 hit in Poland. I had a number 2 Christmas hit. That was on
we should listen to that at the end of the podcast.
Sure, that would be, for sure. I'd be very honoured. So from a professional standpoint, that would have been the highlights. Hearing myself on the radio was very cool. I heard myself on the radio in Canada and Scotland, but in Poland it was quite cool. What else would I say was a big significant high?
If I remember correctly, you were also one of the top guys on the TV show.
That was for fun.
Talent show.
Yeah, that must be the music, and I also did X Factor. But that was just for fun. I never honestly believed in a second I could actually win that. I would say what I'm doing now, I would say, is a highlight. That when I discovered that most of my life I wasn't doing what I was born to do. When I realised that, I never really wanted to be a star. When I realised that, helping other people feel like they're rock stars was more important for me. So I started a company called Rock Your Business, which is basically energizes conferences and team building events by turning the attendees into a choir and giving them an incredible shared experience.
That's a cool project. That's a cool idea.
Yeah, from being completely broken on my knees, and in a year and a half I did 65 multinational companies in 18 countries. 12 countries at that time. Now it's 150 companies in 18 countries. And this year I headlined ICA in Krakow, International Congress and Conference Association. It's the biggest association in the world for professional conference planners. I opened and closed the conference this year. last month in Krakow, and I also was the opening closer of the MPI, Meeting Planner International annual conference in San Francisco. So I had a beautiful year when it comes to stuff like that, but still.
So this is like a team building event?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so instead of going paintballing or kayaking.
Yeah. And all my trainers are Polish, apart from one where we have a Canadian girl, but the rest of them are all Polish. So we're a Polish company, so that makes me quite proud. And every time I go abroad, when I go to these trade fairs like IMEX or IBTM, the Polish stand are always calling me their star of Poland. I'm the kind of ambassador of Poland, even though I'm Scottish, but it's...
You're a cosmopolite then.
Yeah, I guess I am. And from a personal standpoint, I would say it was my girlfriend Colgate that she might have made...
Colgate.
Monica, but she has a great smile, so...
Okay,
Yeah,
that explains.
Yeah. So I said when I met her, I looked at her and she smiled and went, "You should be advertising Colgate," and it kind of stuck. So it took 4 months to get the first kiss, but we're still together after a year and a half.
4 months.
4 months.
Does it always take that long for you?
No, 4 minutes. I mean 4 hours, sometimes 4 days, but 4 months is... Yeah, I know Polish girls are stubborn, but that was ridiculous. But
Do you regret waiting for that long? I guess not. You guys are still together, right?
yeah, I think a lot of people should take their time because she actually, we talk about it quite often. She said that she knew I was a bit of a playboy before, and she said, if I had gone to bed with you really quickly, do you think we'd still be together? And it's a great question, because I said to her, probably not. Because the fact that we waited gave us time to build a friendship first, and we spent a lot of time on SMSs, dinners as friends, shisha nights, house parties, video calls, and got to know a lot about each other before we got physical. And I think that made a massive difference, because I haven't felt like this in 50 years. So it took me, 49 years. I turned 50 after I met her. And 49 years I hadn't had a girl that made me feel that way.
It's always good to wait for all that's good.
Good things come to those who wait. That's what they say in English.
Exactly.
And what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, but I was pretty close a few times.
So tell me more about her.
She is a Leo. She's an accountant for Sanipede. She is the most wonderful woman I ever met in my life. She's a very caring person. We went to Mexico together. We went to San Francisco, Los Angeles, Scotland, Denmark, Sweden. Whenever I want to go on a crazy adventure, she's the first person to pack the bags. Let's go. She completes me.
When you met her, did you know she's the one?
Yeah.
Okay. So that was the key element to wait those 4 months.
Not for her. She was not interested because she thought I didn't speak any Polish, and she thought I was too old.
There is an age difference between you, definitely.
17 years.
Some would say that's a lot, but for me, and for other people as well, they might agree, age is just a number, right?
Yeah.
You are as old as you feel.
Yeah, and she took a long time to tell her parents, because her mum is 3 years older than me, that she was dating a guy that had 3 kids to 3 different women, and he's older.
That's a tough cookie to bring home, yep.
At Vigilia.
Oh.
So that was a very interesting Vigilia last year. But it was, I won them over. I took my guitar, I took my son, MJ, and they've accepted me with open arms. They can see how happy their daughter is, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. I think there was a few family discussions at the beginning, but I think a few family members were standing up for me, saying, listen, have you ever seen Monica so happy? Brian might be a little bit older technically, but emotionally he's still 25. He's not Monica thinks I'm 18. But yeah, I mean, age is just a number. I don't feel like I'm 51. I'm in the gym every day training for 90 minutes. I can party with the best of them. I can still rock. But yeah. So, but for some people, I understand it. It's cool. She loves my kids. My kids love her. We live together. We do everything together. I'm not bored, I'm still as in love now as what I was when I first started falling.
How many songs did you already written for her?
8 or 10 already.
Okay.
She's definitely my muse. Yeah, I even wrote a song called She's My Linda McCartney, because when Paul was together with Linda, in their entire whole marriage, I think it was 30 years before she tragically died of cancer, they only ever spent 2 nights apart.
Wow.
So I wrote the song, You're my Linda McCartney, your love completes me, la da da. It's quite cute.
Very nice, very nice. Talking of things that you love and hate, what do you like and do not like about this country, Poland, Polish people? What would you say that it should change in their behavior, right? Is there anything that looked super strange when you first arrived here?
I guess it's easier now after 18 years to give my opinion, because a lot of Polish people during 18 years didn't like it when don't like it when foreigners give you their opinion, which is very unfair, because if you ask me my opinion of Scotland, I'll give you a very brutal analysis of my own country. And I think that's what everybody should do. You can't be blinded and think, oh, we're the greatest when we're not the greatest. I generally love this country. Moja głowa jest szkocka, ale moje serce jest polskie. Plus things, I would say that the people are wonderful in general. They're very helpful. They're very kind most of the time. I think there's 39 million people here, 40 million people, and most of them are just living their lives and day to day and just not bothering anybody and having trying to get by. I think they were absolutely amazing during the recent invasion of Ukraine. I've never seen a mobilization of that in my life, of people that came to the aid of others. So bravo Poland, wow, rewelacja, incredible. The every negative thing that I ever thought about this country was not even comparable after what they did, and how they raced to the border, and how they opened up their cars, they opened up their wallets, they opened up their homes, they opened up their communities and treated strangers like family. Yeah. That's awesome. If I did have to say something that bothered me prior to the invasion, I would say that Poland can certainly work on trying to be more positive-minded when entering business deals and think win-win rather than win-lose, because this isn't the 1970s, 1980s, and people are not trying to rip you off and try to grab whatever you've got. Some people are honestly trying to make decent, honest business together. And they can try to stop their jealousy. Polish people are extremely, extremely jealous.
Yeah, I don't know where it comes from. I mean, I noticed that living in the US, I can definitely agree. Polish people, when they look at somebody else who is from Poland or any other nation and who is better off than them, they are jealous. They are doing sometimes everything in their power to stop that person from advancing even more, which for me is super strange, because if my neighbor is well off, I'm happy that I have a well-off neighbor instead of some guy that is gonna be homeless or without a job soon, that the neighborhood is just going up and up instead of going down the drains, right?
Obviously, you could take that one step further. When you're not jealous and you're happy for somebody else's success, and then that person obviously loves you being in their circle of friends because you're bringing positive energy to that circle. And if you're negative and jealous, then they're going to exclude you. They're going to exclude you. And then think of all the great business lessons you can learn from somebody who just made a great success. I mean, wow, you should be. My old army sergeant said, 2 ears, 1 mouth. You should use them in that equation. Just be quiet and listen and learn, and just go and ask questions. So how did you manage to have that? Wow, that's great. Because I think in Poland, a lot of people think, they must have connections. This
either connections or they did something shady.
Yeah,
this is not honest work, right?
Yeah.
Other nations that I seen in the States, they were helping each other out. They were happy for success of their own people.
Yeah.
Right. We, on the other hand, we have to learn to utilize that knowledge and to bring it up.
But in general, I can only speak about my own children and the children in their classes. They seem to be a lot more positive minded. The level of English is dramatically higher, which is the technology availability is dramatically higher. So I think the children, the next generation of Polish kids and the current generation of kids between, say, 18 and 35, they're definitely in a different mindset from the ones that went before them, because they have their opportunities are endless now. Their sphere of influence of social media and the internet is giving them opportunities that their parents didn't have or their grandparents didn't have, and they're really jumping on that. I need to learn English. I need to think more cosmopolitan. I need to
exactly.
The world's there for me. We're not trapped behind the Iron Curtain anymore. We're not, there is opportunities. There's millions of Polish people now after 2004 living around Europe, living around the world. They don't have to pray for a visa to go to the US now. There's certainly more opportunities now. That I think that's definitely a carrot being dangled in front of them, that if they study hard at school and they keep their nose clean and keep themselves out of trouble, they could really make something in their lives.
Yeah, I can see, some of the cases of people that went outside of Poland, that they became successful, abroad, in the States, in England, in other parts of the world, right? Yeah, definitely. Was there anything strange in Poland that you first arrived here? Is there anything currently strange for you here?
Yeah, osypek cheese and
You don't like it?
kiszony ogórek.
You don't like it?
No, it's disgusting.
Come on.
I don't even know how Polish people can even eat that stuff. And Monica a couple of nights ago gave me this, it was like a smoky tea. I guess it's a traditional tea you make, and it's got like some kind of smoked fruits. And oh my good God, I almost spat it out all over the table. And she's like, oh my God, this is so delicious, you're going to love it. And I was like, oh my God, it's because osypek cheese is also smoked.
Yes.
Which is quite funny. She doesn't like smoked salmon, which is very weird. But I generally don't like barbecues. I don't really like smoked food in general. But no, it wasn't. Weird.
So it's only food that was strange for you?
Yeah,
Everything
I'll tell you what's weird. This is quite a funny one. That I find a lot of Polish people are rude. They don't have manners. They never say excuse me. They never say przepraszam. They bump into you. They stand right behind you at an ATM. They try to rush in front of you when they're getting on a tram or on a metro, or when they're driving. They try to cut you off all the time. Yeah, when they go into an elevator, even though they've never met you before in their life, they say dzień dobry, and then when they get off, they say dziękuję. And that's super polite. So how can't you take that wonderful thing you just did and
And you utilize it everywhere you go?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, it's weird. Just when you go into elevators, it's really weird. Thank you for the travel. We went 2 floors. Dziękujemy. Okay, random. Or you go into the gym and somebody walks past you and says dzień dobry or cześć, and you're like, okay, weird.
Yeah, it was super weird for me when I moved back here to Poland. I started going to the gym, and people that I didn't know says, hey, how are you? Cześć, dzień dobry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that didn't even happen in the States. It was weird. Like, the gym, yes. On the street, no.
No. And my son, MJ, I teach him manners every day, and he's very proud when he holds the door open for people. And then he noticed a lot of people just walk through it and never
they don't say thank you.
Yeah, and MJ said, Daddy, what do I do when they don't say thank you? I said, you say, you're welcome, son.
There you go.
Proszę bardzo. Then make sure you say it so they hear it. And then it was really funny. About 8 months ago, he held the door open for this elderly man or woman, I can't remember, and they didn't say thank you. So MJ walked up to him and said, hey, proszę pana, what do you say now? Co ty mówisz?
Funny how
And I
kids
told
react,
MJ,
right?
that's not polite. You can't say that to an elderly person. He went, przepraszam, dziękuję.
There you go. Cool. Let's move to current projects. Rock for Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
Several events that happened already. I had a pleasure taking part in 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share with our listeners how did this project start and what the project is all about?
Sure. I think you were at the...
I was at the one next to the first one.
Yeah.
With the recording studio, and then the second one next to the Royal Palace.
Wow. Yeah, so the project basically started itself. That I answered, and when the war started, I did the same as everybody else. I had people living in my 1-bedroom apartment. I would sleep on the couch and give a mother and her daughter my room. Me and Monica would sleep on the couch. I started hooking up people with everything from Pampers to missiles to help in any way that I could. And then
a thought crossed your mind that you wanted to go to Ukraine and fight for them, right?
Yeah, because I was in the British Army for 5 years, but that was vetoed by my kids. And then basically somebody in one of the Facebook groups put, can somebody do animation for kids? And I said, yes, me. So I went to this little renovated church in Zomki, with a few friends, and I started playing Let It Be by the Beatles, and this young, beautiful teenage Ukrainian girl who just came across the border pulled out a violin and started playing with me. Mesmerizing. And then some kids were sick, they couldn't join, but they came down the stairs and watched from the stairs while I was singing. And I composed a song the day before called Stand Up, The Time Is Now. for Ukraine, for the kids, so they would have a weapon to sing with their voices, not holding a gun. Which became catchier than I intended. It's a very catchy song, apparently, and kids learn it very quickly, and adults too. So somebody, my friend Simon, said, why don't you make a charitable project? He had a fundacja in the south of Poland, in Żywiec, that could help me with the administration, try to raise some funds and go around Poland and make more workshops for the kids. I did probably the first 4,000 children by myself because we didn't raise that much money. And then Mattel came on board for their Play It Forward project, and they donated some toys and covered some of the expenses of going around Poland on a tour, which we're in the middle of right now. And we did workshops for over 10,000 children all over Poland already.
So you start teaching the kids the lyrics of the songs, right?
Well, we do sports, we do vocal lessons. We teach them how to sing first, and then we teach them how to sing in second voices.
First, you break the ice with them.
Yeah, Basically, cheer them up and take the mind off everything. We sing "We Will Rock You" by Queen. We start doing crazy, fun games, and then I go into the more structured la 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 kind of stuff. I keep it kind of light and upbeat because it's children. And then I teach them stand up with the different voices, and then at the end of the workshop, we all perform it like a choir.
Yeah, and I seen it with my own eyes and heard it with my own ears. It's a wonderful song, first of all, but also I had an opportunity to see those kids arriving in a bus, walking off the bus. They didn't know what to expect. Their faces were, sad. They didn't know what's gonna be happening, and then I seen them throughout that day. Those facial expressions changed. By the end of the day, they were all happy and they were all cheery and they were all kids again, and that's wonderful. That's something that you cannot buy this with any amount of money.
No, thank you. Yeah, that was a very hard day for me. I mean, we went to the actual expo to take a bus load of kids that just came across the border and convince their parents that we were going to cheer their kids up, and it was mental therapy, which it is, an incredible shared experience. And then when all the kids kept on coming in, and tears were rolling down my cheeks because I didn't expect so many kids to come. And then within an hour, they were all singing their heads off and being kids and playing games outside and then singing in the choir, and the food came, pizza. Who doesn't like pizza? Yeah, so right. It was amazing. And then we decided to do more of these workshops because they obviously work. So I just went wherever I could find people. Schools in Warsaw, orphans in Hotel Osa, to Podlasie, to Łódź, to Żywiec, to Rzeszów, whatever. And I will continue to do this until the war stops, and even probably after, if the kids still need help.
Are you working on some sort of a video to capture this all? Some sort of a documentary or a music video?
Yeah, it's called Rock for Ukraine.
Okay.
Might not be the name of the documentary, but we've had a wonderful camera crew called Tropicel from Łódź, Michal and Maciek, and Adam and Artur and Piotrek that have been following us all around Poland, videotaping the kids and their reactions and the whole process, basically telling the story of the song and the story of the project. It's by far the most amazing thing I've ever done in my life.
Cool.
Not only in Poland. Cool. I mean, I never thought in my lifetime that I could honestly sit somewhere and somebody says, "What did you do in your life?" Well, in the space of 8 months, I went around the country and I was doing choir singing workshops and sports workshops for over 10,000 children. That's pretty cool.
How far is the video production?
No idea.
So there is no definite deadline of
no,
seeing
because the
final
project
product.
is still ongoing. When the war stops, I guess that's when the video will stop.
Okay. Can the listeners of our podcast help somehow with this project?
Sure, they can contact you directly, and I'm sure I can give you some contact information to the
I can pass them on to you. Okay.
Or they can go to Facebook, the Rock for Ukraine, the donation page is there somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just a terrible fundraiser.
What keeps you motivated?
Great question. My health motivates me every day. I'm going to the gym. I had a situation this year when I was burning the candle at both ends, and I had a blood pressure of 183/102, and I had dizzy spells. My face was like a tomato. Couldn't catch a breath, and my eyes were swimming. And at that moment, I said I need to take my blood pressure. It was just after a workshop for the kids in Podlasie, and the hotel had a blood pressure thing, and they took my blood pressure. It was 183/102. So I googled what that meant. It said call 911. So we did, and the doctor advised me to take 10 days rest, to change my diet, to reduce my drinking, and to basically go to the gym more, and to basically just start looking after myself, which was, in a way, I was trying to help the kids, and they ended up saving me. So that is my number one motivation in my life, to keep myself physically strong, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and health. Starting with health, because there's a reason they tell you on an airplane, if you're going to crash, put on your own mask first. And it takes a big thing in your life to slap you in the face, like getting told take 10 days rest or you might not be here in 10 days. And that's a pretty big slap. That motivates me. In the same breath, being there for my kids as they grow up. If I'm not healthy, I can't do that. So that's a massive motivation for me to get more healthy. And I'm really trying to get in great condition right now. And I'll maintain it. The love of my girlfriend, Monica Colgate. Again, same story. I want to be healthy so I can be around with her for as long as I can. I think I have a great story to tell.
Go ahead.
My life. And I think that now that I've went into keynote speaking and sharing some of the stories of my life and the recent stuff that I've done for the kids, and channeling this into a way to show people that everybody can change. And if you honestly think that being rich is going to make you happy in your life, it's not. And the power of giving back, because the power of giving saved my life. And to know the joy that you feel when you help people genuinely. And next year I'm going to make a project called Being Visible, because the number one disease in the world is depression. And people who are depressed is because they feel invisible. It's the number one thing they fear. So you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that sports helps your mental health. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know that music helps your mental health. And the third one that we're all missing, which is quite crazy since the beginning of time, is groups, which is the one thing that the Alcoholics Anonymous guy got correct. He got people in groups. You have to have support. And
you have to feel that you're part of somebody, right?
Yes.
Like you're part of a group.
And then you have to have a higher purpose than you. First you get the support of the community, then you have to work out how you can do something for the community. Not your community of the people around you, but the other people in the community that needs help, that makes you feel good because you did it. Yeah, so that's my next project. That motivates me tremendously, because every time I talk about it, people go, wow, that's incredible. I want to be a part of it. How can I be a part of it? And I said, that's not a monetary thing. This is like a Black Lives Matter. This is just going to be a movement that we're going to get it in the schools. We're going to get it in the corporations, saying, look, how do we get our employees to feel better about themselves? Okay, here's an idea. Let's join this project called Being Visible. Okay, what does that mean? Well, once a month, our employees, department against department, or all departments together, they can involve their kids, have to come up with an idea that they can do that benefits the community every month. One day, a Saturday. So what do you mean by that, Brian? Well, my daughter said, Daddy, I would take them into a children's hospital and make a music video with the kids, make them feel like real pop stars. Somebody else said to me, I would draw a mural on the wall, get the adults to draw the mural, the kids draw the bottom half because that's as high as they can go, and the adults finish the top. Oh, that's cool. My other friend said, well, I would take some of the people into an old folks home and get the Babjas to show them how they make their incredible pierogies. And then the old people are not lonely. They're getting people that are there, young people from the company, whatever, and then people from the company have an incredible day with their kids, and also with people that needed help without saying they need help. And then the idea is to empower them, that you tell the employees, you guys have to come up with the ideas. Make a theatre show. I don't know. Whatever it is. Do something ecological. They have to come up with some kind of amazing idea that they can help in the community one day a month. Everybody has that much time.
Sure.
And then on the Sunday of that month, then the company does something for their employees for doing that. So apart from feeling amazing on the Saturday, apart from helping people, apart from spending time with your friends and your family because you want to engage as many people as you can, Then on a Sunday, the company organises a sports and music day for them. That's their reward. So the Sunday, it's like a picnic every Sunday, once a month. The company throws a little picnic, the kids are running around, the adults are running around playing games, whatever it may be, squash, football, whatever it is. And then afterwards there's a concert either from the people inside the company, or they hire a band to come and play, or there's a DJ. They just get some kind of feel-good factor that everybody needs a reward. You know, you guys spent a month working on this project. They have to organise all the logistics of that one event they're going to do once a month, and then they go into the community and they make a massive difference.
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
Keeping my fingers crossed for it to happen, to succeed.
Thank you.
You definitely keep us posted next year, because we do have to meet with you probably again to tell you, so you can tell us all your other stories and all your other experiences, right?
You don't have that much time.
Oh, listen. So how about you tell me right now, what is the most crazy thing that happened in your musical career? Any crazy stories you want to share? Any crazy parties with any famous people that you can drop some?
I know what you're talking about now. My first co-writer in Los Angeles was Paul Stanley. Yeah, this story, this is yeah, okay. So we'll finish this on a rocking note. So I was very lucky on my third day, I think I was, in Los Angeles. There's two canyons where people walk up basically to do some kind of fitness if you live in the Hollywood area. Fryman Canyon and Runyon Canyon. And I was actually living in the valley with a friend for a few days at that time, so I went up Fryman Canyon because it's easier to access from the valley side. And I saw two ladies in their late 30s, early 40s, and I was 30 at that time. Early 40s they were. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to make a joke with these ladies because you never know who you know and who you meet in LA. So I said, ladies, I'm from Scotland and I'm going to try and run up this hill, which nobody does unless you're insane. If you see me passed out at the side of the path, just kick me in the head and I'll get going again. So they said, okay. So I actually did run all the way up to the top. And I got to the top and I waited for them and they're like, oh, we didn't need to kick you in the head. I went, no, and I heard there's some coyotes around here, so as a Scottish gentleman must do, I'm going to escort you young ladies down the hill. And we got talking, and one of the ladies said to me, so it must be acting or music? I said, yeah, I'm a singer. And she goes, well, be very careful, because my ex-husband was a singer, and he got ripped off many times. I said, yeah, who was your ex-husband? She goes, Paul Stanley. And I was like, oh my God, I just met the ex-wife of the lead singer of Kiss. 110 million albums sold around the world. And I had to be the best actor I could be. And I was just like, oh, Kiss. She goes, you know Kiss? I went, what's the famous song? She went, I was made for loving you. I went, no, I'm not so sure I know that one. These are crazy, 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 crazy nights. I went, oh yeah, I know that song. She goes, that's him. I goes, oh yeah, very cool band. Her friend was the editor-in-chief of Vogue America. Anyway, we got to the bottom of the hill. I had befriended her, I guess you could say. She invited me to Mulholland Estates for her private Mum, I will call you later. I'm only kidding. That was not my mother. That was Paul Stanley. Anyway, long story short, I basically met some more famous people. She said, do you want to meet Paul? I was like, what? I met him 2 days later. He said, do you want to write a song together? I said, what? Yes. The next day we wrote a song together. That night he invited me to a party for his band member Gene Simmons to the launch of his Tongue magazine in the Barfly on Sunset, and I turned up and I told the guy at the door, look, I'm not on the guest list, but you know, Paul invited me, it's Gene's party tonight. And he looked at me and, you must be telling the truth. And you go, son. So in I went, and on the right hand side of this bar was a little VIP area with all the Baywatch babes with their former 80s rock star boyfriends, husbands, Gene Simmons, and then on the left-hand side of the bar was like the nightclub was a launch of a Hawaiian Tropic magazine with all the bikini models. At that moment, Hugh Hefner walks past me with 6 playmates, and I just went, I just seriously died and went to heaven. Nobody is ever going to believe me. And then Paul walks in.
Did you ask somebody to pinch you so you can wake up?
Oh, I think I needed more than pinched. And then Paul walks in and he says, come on, I'll introduce you to Gene. So he introduced me to Gene. He had his platform shoes on, and he's like already 6 foot tall without them. And he's like, this is Brian. I wrote a great song from today. This is Gene. This is blah, blah. He goes, I'm going to go get myself an orange juice. And I'm standing there with the big man himself. And I said to him, Gene, congratulations on starting your own media publication. That's a big move. And he went, thanks. I was like, wow, okay, Brian, you can break down anybody. Engage in dialogue. I'm like, Gene, also, I would like to say congratulations. It's an invitation to the best party I've ever seen in my life. And he looks at me and goes, thanks. I'm like, wow. Donna de Errico was there. The guys from Motley Crue were there. Everybody was there. And then he goes, Brian? I went, yes. He goes, if you had bigger tits, I would talk to you. But seeing as you don't have any, have a nice night. And he walked off. Yeah, that was my rock and roll moment.
That's great memories, and it's weird and it's strange how coincidence can work out at the end, right?
Yeah,
because it was by pure coincidence. You just run into somebody, you approach them, you start a conversation.
She's still my good friend.
That's it. Yeah. You never know who you're gonna meet, and you never know where you're gonna meet them.
When opportunity meets chance.
Exactly. What are your plans for the near future? Well, you just told me about that next project that you're doing.
Yeah,
Anything
that's my no. I wrote a new Christmas song yesterday, 2 days ago. That my one of my biggest plans now is to get that song recorded.
So you have several songs right now. Several songs for Colgate.
This one's new one. super catchy. So stand up, I'm going to record as well from the Rock for Ukraine project. But this Christmas song it's really got a lot of hit potential. So. The way record companies work is you need the song like 9 months or 6 months before Christmas.
Okay.
Because they have
for next year then?
Yes, because they have to do all their marketing, their promotion, find the artists, they have to find the producers. I'm not going to sing it, I just wrote it. So I'll make a demo of it, then I'll pitch it to publishers, they try to put it in a Christmas movie. So they need time for all that stuff. So I'm going to get that hopefully recorded in January, and I'll start shopping that around the world. It's really, really catchy. So it's called At Christmas Time. And here's the funny part. Here's the funny part about the project I'm doing next year. Part of the lyrics is about being lonely. It's Christmas. Everybody should be with us. Nobody should ever be lonely at Christmas time. So it's kind of even talking about it. Then the next part is thank God it's Christmas, another year for us to feel grateful to see the ones we love around the table at Christmas time.
Nice.
So yeah.
Very nice. So we'll wait for the single. We'll wait for the release. We're gonna play some of your music after we finish this podcast. So I encourage the listeners to just stay with us a little longer. Anyone you would like to give a shout out to?
All the beautiful children that I saw this year. They'll never hear this podcast, but that doesn't matter. It's sending it out into the universe. My mom, my stepdad John, Johnny Boy, my beautiful kids, my beautiful girl, and anybody else that knows me.
Very nice. Thank you, Brian, for being with us, for sharing your story. Hopefully we'll meet again, and there's going to be just more and more subjects to talk about.
Super, my brother.
If any of you guys would like to help with Rock for Ukraine project, you can contact Brian via social media, or you can like his Facebook group, Rock for Ukraine. Right now, let's listen to 3 of Brian's songs. The first one will be On Christmas Day, which was #2 song in Poland when it was released. The second will be Blessed Be the Angels, featuring Mietek Szcześniak and Sławek Juniatowski. And then I will play one of the latest songs written by Brian, One More Time. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode, and I'll talk to you soon.
tomorrow. As we learn from yesterday, forget the pain and sorrow. On Christmas Day, let's drink for the future and forget about the past. Believe me, it looks brighter if we all raise a glass on Christmas Day. Now let the children sing. Kocham ten świat kocha mnie, ten świat kocha mnie. Kocham ten świat kocha mnie, ten świat kocha mnie. Christmas bells are ringing all over this land. Children are rejoicing as they dance hand in hand. They're singing about the future. They forget all the past. Believe me, it looks brighter if we all rise the glass on Christmas Day. Yeah. Kocham ten świat kocha mnie, ten świat kocha mnie. Kocham ten świat kocha mnie, ten świat kocha mnie. Kocham ten świat kocha mnie, ten świat kocha mnie. Kocham ten świat kocha mnie, ten świat kocha mnie. Kocham ten świat kocha mnie, ten świat kocha mnie. With the angels tonight, let there be love, let there be light. With the angels tonight. Oh, when it's darker than it's ever been, when the world as we know it is falling apart at the seams, when it's colder than we've ever seen, when the atmosphere is burning and nobody's learning to dream. Without hope, without faith, there's no way we can stay strong. Without love, there's no reason for us to go on and on. Blessed be the angels who guide us through our lives. Let there be love, let there be light. For the angels tonight. Oh, let there be love, let there be light. For the angels tonight. Mountains will crumble into the sea. Oceans will rise upon you and me. Nations will tremble as they go to war. Lord only knows what we find in Blessed be the angels who guide us through our lives. Let there be love. be love, let there be light with the angels tonight.
Let's do it.
One more day to see the things I never said I thought I had forever. Come what may. Now I know what Elvis meant is really now and never. I would give all I have and all I will be to see you one more. I treat every breath I breathe to have you here with me, to hold you one more time. Take it slow. The words you always said, but I never really had them. Hearts on hold. Now I know the difference between hell or heaven. And now I would give all I have and all I will be to see you one more. I treat every breath I breathe to have you here with me, to hold you one more. The grass was greener, baby. Never have I seen a sky as clear as when I walked hand in hand with you. The nights we laughed till morning, loving every minute, kissing while yawning. My heart, my love, my dreams came true. I'd give all I have and all I will be to see you one more. I trade every breath I breathe to have you here with me, to hold you one more time. One more time.
W imieniu autora dziękuję Państwu za uwagę. Zachęcam do subskrypcji podcastu oraz jego oceny.